Hello people of the internet. It's your boy Skinny Penis, back from the forest, trying to mushroom vlog. Well, already walked a bit into it. It's not looking good as I expected. It's a bit too late, bit too cold. Last year was same time, but it was warmer. It was very dry before, so I think the porcini already sprouted earlier. But I mean, we can still make it informative, right? We only found a brown cap until now. Probably gonna find a few more of those later on, but yeah, we can still keep it informative. So for example, this one here, like obviously I'm hunting for porcini and brown caps, which is the obvious choice, but this one here, for example, let's actually maybe not take it out. This one here, because like this type of mushroom, you can generally eat all of them. Even this one is technically edible, you're not gonna die. But this is the one you don't want to pick out of all the, like basically all the mushrooms that have an underside that is more like a sponge. So all of those are technically edible, really. I think there's only one that looks really fancy that is actually toxic, but that one is so rare and doesn't, and you would see it kind of. So this one here, it's like in Germany we call it Bitterpilz or Gallenröhrling. That thing is extremely bitter. But like if you see when they grow out, they're a bit pink on the underside, pink grayish, and then the trunk is a lot different to the porcinis we found last year. Also turns more brown, has like a net on it, and yeah, well, I mean if they're smaller it's a bit harder to tell because the underside is extremely white still, so you could mistake them for a porcini. But now when they're grown out, they look a lot different color-wise, especially like the pink or pinkish underside. But yeah, you can always like just lick that thing on the underside or take a bite out of it and chew it for a second and spit it out. You will notice in like 2 seconds that it's so incredibly bitter. You would ruin your entire soup or dish that you're cooking with your mushrooms with it. So yeah, it's actually quite rare to find it here. I haven't found many this year, but in a lot of other forests where there's porcinis or brown caps, you also find that one. And obviously this one you want to dodge. But yeah, I'll see you in a bit. Trying to find some porcini after all. I'll keep you updated. Hello. Well, I walked a bit again. It's the same spot as last year. I have real trouble finding any fresh porcini. Kind of suspected that because the weather was good enough, perfect enough for them like 2 weeks ago to come out. So that's probably when they came, because I can't find any cuttings from others. Neither can I find old ones really. I think I saw like 1 or 2 very old disgusting ones. But yeah, as I said, we can try and look for brown caps. Sometimes you at least find those and a bunch of other mushrooms. I mean, there's enough one here, but porcini are technically not known to be like that late into autumn. It can happen, but it's not that common. Well, we have a few brown caps. They're kind of okay. We're just gonna dry them. I mean, this one does not look, it looks good from above, but actually the underside is not that great. You just dry them and throw them into a goulash or something. It's pretty good. But yeah, still hoping that I can find at least one porcini that is edible. Otherwise, sticking with brown caps. The other ones here, wouldn't really be able to tell you what it is. Also don't really want to have it. Oh, there's another. There's a pink one here. This one, I mean, it's pretty old, but you could like kind of take a little bite, and if it's very spicy, as I said last year, then that type of mushroom is edible, otherwise not. There's also a bunch of these mushrooms here that indicate porcini. I mean, I know that they grow here. So you have like the red ones with the blue, and not the blue, the red ones with the white dots. You have that this one there, this white one, Milchriesling is its name in German. And then there's also like something called a pepper mushroom here. I already saw it, but yeah, well, no porcini inside, probably because it's just too cold, or maybe it's still like the weather should still be fine for them, but if they sprouted earlier in the year, then they don't have like a second coming. Maybe they have a second coming soon. This one here, I mean, this is an old version of it. It's also edible. It has a orange milk. There's a lot of orange. Oh, yeah. There's orange milk coming out of it. Whatever. It's an older one, so it's not that one is also edible. Maybe I'll take some of those today. If there's no porcini, there should be more down there. Like if maybe there's a few small ones that I can take. I could put them in a pan, eat them with a bit of butter and fresh bread. Maybe they're not too bad. I don't know which one of the three kinds it is, but I think it's the, I mean, Germany we say Fichtenreizker. It's not the best one. The other two are better. Lachsreizker and Edelreizker. But yeah, let's see what the day brings. I mean, we're gonna leave with a few mushrooms. If it's too few, we dry them, or I dry them. We can use them for goulash, as said, or roulade, like for the sauce. Otherwise, I mean, maybe there's a few porcini at the end. Who knows? Well, see you soon. Aha, found some interesting one. Nothing I would pick. I mean, you could try again, but it's very nicely colored. It's a, yeah, it's a Täubling as well. So like technically I could break something off and eat it. I'm pretty sure this extremely purple one is non-edible because the Frauentäubling doesn't really grow in these kind of areas. But yeah, amazing colors. I could now taste it. I mean, it's pretty old already. It's like not the not the cactus mushroom anymore. But yeah, pretty cool to see that. I mean, obviously there's mushrooms all around here. Like there's a dark one. Actually, I think this one you can eat. But as said, I'm not fucking with I don't know 100%. But yeah, tons of mushrooms in the forest. Sadly, it's mostly these autumn types. Oh, there's actually one of the red ones, a bit older one though. I have a spot later on that I think no one has yet really discovered or went to. It's just too much trouble to get there. But I feel like this area here, I went last year. Maybe I also left too many of my cuttings on the ground. But I saw some very old cuts now, and I also saw another disgusting porcini, very old one. So I'm pretty sad at this point that this year the porcinis just came earlier, and then they don't have like a second time coming. Maybe if it's warm again, there could be a few strugglers coming out, so I can look for it again. I mean, I already collected very early this year. In summer, I was very surprised. We had an entire basket full, and then afterwards it always had like a rain here and there, and then it was very warm. So I guess they're all just like, they fruited already, would you say? Like, I mean, it's the fruit of the mycelium, the mushroom itself that you pick has nothing to do with the mycelium underground. That's why you can also rip them out, twist them out, doesn't matter. I mean, you generally want to twist out porcini so you get the entire stem. But yeah, you're not destroying the mycelium. But yeah, probably they already fruited. Also, the other mushrooms, most of them are decently old, so the weather must have been perfect here while I was on vacation. At least it looks like, it definitely looks like nothing happened in the past like 7 days. So I didn't really miss it, not going here immediately after return of from Spain. But yeah, you would see it, like you would see cuttings, you would see a few older ones that have been eaten by snails or some shit, but nothing like that. It's only fully decomposed porcinis that I can see, which means it's like over a week at least, 1.5, maybe 2 weeks even. So yeah, sadly, but that's how mushroom picking works, right? Like if I go a lot, like 10 times a year, probably like 5 to 6 times at least, I don't really come back with anything. And then 2, 3 times or 4 times you hit the jackpot. But yeah, also the thing that this area probably has been discovered by other people now too. But yeah, see you later. Yeah, just to show you now, I finally found something. So this is like a cutting from someone, pretty old already, like pretty decomposed. This is the stem that they cut off, and then next to it there's an older, that's a porcini. It's actually like if I put my finger in, it goes pretty deep. The thing has already soaked up tons of water. It's very old. Actually, this is the type of mushroom some people collect, especially older ones, because they don't know better. And that's how most of the mushroom poisonings happen. It's not actually like poison, as I said. I think I said it last year as well. It's not actually poison. It's decomposing proteins from older mushrooms or maggot-infested mushrooms. And older people just don't care. I mean, sure, you can eat the maggots, they're fresh, but not their decomposing shit inside the mushroom. And anyways, these mushrooms have tons of protein, so if you eat a mushroom like this, it's highly likely it's just like eating rotten meat. And well, some people still do it. I wouldn't. It's like over, I think like over 97 or 98% of the mushroom poisonings are actually so-called false mushroom poisonings. They're not actually because they eat poisonous mushrooms, but because they eat older decomposing ones. Or also in summer, if it's dry, mushrooms that have dry damages, basically. So parts of the mushrooms, like the edges or so, are extremely dried out. Those can also be kind of fucky. It's not as bad though, but this one here, definitely a no-go. And a few meters later, we actually find the cutting. It was a pretty good looking one, but I think there were a bunch of maggots inside. That's why the person didn't want to bother. But yeah, was a pretty good looking one, sadly maggot infested. But now that it's been cut off, actually, if it still looks like this, it could have been cut off like 5-6 days ago. They actually, because obviously the ground is pretty fresh, moist and cold, they could be like at least 3-4 days old. So if you find cuttings from other people, it's not really smart to cut out the, because I bet like the cap is pretty uninfested by maggots. Was a pretty good looking mushroom, but I'm not gonna fuck with it either. Same reason as the older one. You don't know how long it's been laying around here. But yeah, funny, actually found it a few meters further, but also tells me that there's definitely people in this section. So I'm looking forward to my more secretive section that people probably can't be bothered to go into, and then let's see what we can find later on. Okay, now I'm actually surprised. That's a first for me in this forest. This is a chanterelle, and I've never seen a chanterelle in this entire forest area, especially because this is the normal, like very basic chanterelle, and they don't necessarily grow with, yeah, it's a chanterelle actually. Wait, give me a second. Have to pick it out. It's a bit of an older one, but that's definitely a first for me. Oh, you can still eat. I mean, this one here is fine, that's for sure. They're definitely grown out. They're also like a few days old. But yeah, this is actually a chanterelle. Personally, probably my favorite mushroom. There's another one up there. It's extremely interesting. First time, but interesting to, yeah, see it. Wow. I don't know how they got here. But yeah, you can see it. The underside is a lot different than the classic mushrooms you can find. Maybe there is one here that I could show. They grow everywhere normally. I think over there, this yellow one is one. Let me quickly go there. I'm careful that I don't trip on the chanterelle. Oh wait, let's just pick it out real quick. Oh, those are pretty young and fresh. Oh yeah. Well, it's not many, but I mean, it's something. Very interesting to find them here. And I mean, for the video, it's perfect. Don't forget my, oh well, I can just leave my knife there. Let's see if this is, yeah, perfect. See, I have a good eye for those. Let's pick one of those out, because this is what people, actually, isn't there like the other one? Oh yeah, maybe let's take this one too, and then compare them. So, so, as you can see here, first of all, this is a Täubling again. You can see the underside. It's basically a trunk and then a cap, and it ends only at the top. And obviously you can break them. Well, the one has a bit of a wear. You can just break them. Also the trunk you can normally break. Wait, yeah, there you go. It breaks clean. Actually, there's a lot of maggots in there, whatever. This one, same thing, right? Like this one you can't break, but as you see, the stem goes into the cap, and I don't know what you call them. They go from the stem right into the cap, and then you have a chanterelle, and that's like the only mushroom that grows like this. It goes clean into the cap. Obviously the entire color, the way it looks. Oh man, this one is actually a bit fucked up. Gotta clean it real nice. But yeah, you can see it's looking different, looking more like veins, and they go straight into the stem. And then the younger ones, same thing. Like stem goes into cap, and then the thing, it just looks specific. I don't know why people don't pick more. Super easy to tell them. And also the smell is very distinct. Like Very, very nice. But yeah, you could just pick them, and this is pretty easy too. I mean, this is not the actual one that people fuck chanterelles up with. This is not the one. But some people wonder, like, because it's also yellow. I mean, this one is a bit paler, but sometimes they're really yellow. It's like, it's pretty simple to tell that it's not a chanterelle. I don't know. Also, chanterelles never have maggots. I don't know why. They never have maggots. And if you bend the stem or so, they don't break either. But yeah, really cool, actually, chanterelles here. Maybe I'll actually have more of a look around now here than I originally intended to. Maybe there's more of them, but yeah. See you for the next find. Found at least another variety. I mean, my like, the amount I'm finding is miserable, but at least the information character of the video is pretty good. Let's quickly pick this out. Like, we call it butter mushroom in... No, actually, no, it's like gold mushroom, would we ever call it. It's a pretty older example. They grow out too. As I said earlier, all of them with the sponge on the underside are technically edible. This one is actually a pretty good one. Pretty old though. It's pretty hard still, the cap. I'm probably gonna take it and also dry it up. But yeah, as I said in the beginning, it's only that one thing that's a bit pinkish on the underside, or in younger stages, very, very grayish. Also, the cap is more gray than like light brown, white, like the porcini. But yeah, this one easy to tell. You can also eat it. I said we call it golden mushroom. I don't know what the fuck it's in English. But I'm gonna take this one too. I'll see you for the next one. We're actually finding a lot of different ones, but not a single porcini. Well, maybe later on. And to keep up the information character of the video, actually I found one of the false chanterelles. It's a very small one, so it's sadly not really. But this is a false chanterelle. This is what people think is a chanterelle, because it has the same kind of growth, but it has, I mean, it's more orange than actually yellow. It also has a lot of white parts on the top. They're generally very, very soft, whereas let's take an older one even. Like the old chanterelles, they're not as soft. They're pretty firm still, or pretty hard, even the older ones. The stem is a bit watery, but yeah, that's exactly what people think is a chanterelle, and it isn't. I mean, you can see the... You can kind of see how you could mistake them for each other. I mean, I don't know how you can see it, honestly. The trunks, not the trunks, the stems of the chanterelles are extremely thick, wide, hard, especially in a young stage. The color is way more yellowish, not orangish. And I mean, obviously they're soft as shit. But yeah, maybe I find a younger or larger version of this one later on. But even chanterelles, pretty easy. And also those don't smell the way chanterelles smell. Like, you can just go into the store, buy actual chanterelles, smell them, and then you would always know what a chanterelle is in the actual forest. It's hard to describe, but it's a very distinct and extremely pleasant smell that chanterelles have. And the smell, the aroma also kind of comes out if you just fry them. You don't really want to mix chanterelles with a lot of stuff that is over flavoring them, not at all. I mean, you can do it with eggs, but eggs don't really have like the distinct taste of themselves. But just having chanterelles with butter is probably the best you can do. And then you can, like, if you do that once, you'd always know what the aroma is like. And well, we don't have that much in the... It's pretty sad. It's pretty sad. Last year I was excited as shit. I found kilotons of porcini. But yeah, there's not even old ones anymore. Like, I really think they're all fruited. They're not gonna come back. But the thing is, I probably find some more brown caps, that's for sure. Or like even later in the year. So now it's September, so like late October. If it's a bit warmer, you can find so like there's two types of brown caps. This is like we call it summer brown cap. They're not as hard, and they don't have as thick of a stem as the autumn brown caps. Like, the autumn brown caps are really, really cracked because they're extremely hard, extremely nice meat. Those are a bit more mushy or softer. They have way more water, like brown caps in general. If you cook them, they're pretty much reduced by at least half, if not more sometimes. It's not like a porcini, but the autumn brown caps, the thicker ones, they're definitely closer to porcini Really nice, and you can do geschnetzeltes with that, like a bit of chicken, a bit of cream, those mushrooms, because they have a very, like brown caps generally have, if you have a lot of them, they bring out a lot of this mushroom foresty type of flavor, which is amazing, whereas porcinis or chanterelles have like their own type of flavor. But yeah, I'll see you if I find actually something interesting again. There you go. I have to admit, I don't find tons of porcinis, gigatons of porcinis, but the variety this year is amazing. This is a trumpet chanterelle. Actually, I don't know how to get them out. I have to cut them off. This one also easy to tell. Same as a chanterelle on the underside, right? Those are really good for drying and then putting in like a goulash or a soup. So I'm gonna pick those because they're like extremely fresh and they have a really nice glow, like they're like goldenish. Very easy to tell. There's a ton of them here. I'm gonna pick a few of them. Actually, there's a fuck ton of them. They just came out. There's a lot of them. And I'm gonna try those. Actually, I haven't really picked them ever because I always had other mushrooms, but now that they're so fresh, I'm gotta be careful though. Oh wait, I'm not stepping on them. You have like also other mushrooms here, and you just gotta be careful that you don't pick the wrong one, because those ones here, I wouldn't be able to tell you what the fuck it is. But I mean, if you pick, let's pick this one, and you put it next to this one. Oh wait. Right, it's pretty okayish to tell, right? Like this is a trumpet chanterelle, and this one is whatever the fuck it is. Maybe Schwefelkopf, I don't know, something. Could be extremely poisonous, so we don't pick it. But yeah, a bunch of these. I'm gonna pick the good ones and then move on. Yo, so I collected a bunch of these trumpet chanterelles. Actually show it, just a few. I want to taste them. Like I never really collected, so this time I'm just gonna make myself a nice little pan. But to keep the information character of the video as high as possible, so over there you have the, I don't know, I forgot the English name again, the classic red and white one, who indicates porcinis, and the white one we saw earlier, and this is actually the pepper mushroom. Let's get it out, it's an older version. This is the pepper mushroom. Very like brownish underside. That also indicates porcini. This one here, pretty old, but you could probably still use it as a spice. So like you can spice your food with this actually. That's why it's called pepper mushroom. It's pretty sharp, pepper tasting. Let's just leave it here. It's a pretty old one. Just to show it again. So like if you find those three mushrooms, specifically this one and the red and white one, you're pretty good to look for porcini, and maybe you're lucking out and getting some. But yeah, see you for the next mushroom I find. I hope I can keep up the diversity this year. Just had a rabbit, massive one, passing by me, but I did find another batch of the false chanterelle. There's actually a few ones here. As you can see, they're a lot more orange than yellowish white. Let's pick one of them I found. Boop, 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 boop. Let's pick this one. I mean, actually, the camera isn't the best, so there you go. So, I mean, I feel like it's pretty simple to tell. Also, like, as again, they're really soft and like they're thin and softer. Whereas the chanterelle is a bit thicker, whiter, bit bigger stem. Like, look at the small little stem they have. But yeah, that's the false chanterelle, and somehow people mistake them. Actually, I don't even think they smell like anything, do they? Nah, they have like a, they smell like mushroom. Pretty intense actually, but not like a chanterelle, not like this fine chanterelle smell. But yeah, this is what people mistake them for. Those are actually like not really edible. You won't die, but you're also not going to feel very well afterwards either. But yeah, just to show you again. And then they also sometimes come in groups. I personally, like, at some point you can just tell that it's not a chanterelle. Chanterelle also clump up more. They have, like, they don't grow in kind of spots like this next to a tree. They're more in the open. They need actually like nutrient poor soil, chalky soil. And if you find like those blueberries in the forest, for example, those small blueberry bushes, like the very small actual blueberries, then that's kind of where you can find chanterelles easily. Like that is kind of an indicator, because those bushes also like nutrient poor soil, and I think chalky soil as well. It has to be like base, the soil has to be base, but not as acidic, but yeah, I think it's called base soil. And chalky, I think. Oh, then again, like how would you know that it's chalky? I mean, you just have to maybe learn over time what kind of vegetation grows around such soil. So as like said, these blueberry bushes, these small ones, they kind of indicate chanterelles, at least in our regions, probably in other places too. But yeah, that's for the information character again. I'll see you for the next mushroom. Aha. Didn't find a porcini, but what I said earlier, this bitter mushroom, I found a very fresh and young version of it. You can see they kind of look similar. Let's get out of the grass. So they kind of look similar to porcinis, right? But if you go back in I really broke it. So if you go back in last year's video, so first of all, the stems, even in a young age, are brownish, and they have like a pattern, like as you can see there. It's kind of like a pattern, different to the porcini. And then the cap, instead of being white and light brown when they're that young, they're already pretty dark brown because they turn kind of grayish afterwards. And then the underside is, there's already a slight pink tone. So like porcinis are white and then they turn yellow olive green-ish, but like they go from white to pale yellow to olive green. This one here goes from gray pinkish to pretty pinkish, and then gray again, whatever. So like, and even if you like are not sure, you could just lick like the underside here and it would be extremely wet. Yeah, like you can just touch it with your tip of your tongue and you would immediately notice that it's bitter as shit. But yeah, this is like a younger version. Looks kind of like a porcini, but it isn't. So now you know, and now you can pick porcini yourself. Hey. Well. A few more different ones. Wait a sec. Have to get my knife out. Actually, I don't really have to get my knife out. So this is the one I was talking about earlier, the orange one that has orange milk. There's a few fresher versions here. I don't know if I should pick them or not. Well, fuck it. I'll just do it. I mean, at least cut it open, or like cut it from the stem, and then maybe actually. Thing is, if I take it now, it's kind of like I wanted to do the trumpet chanterelles on their own just to get the taste for it. Because like if you go mushroom picking a lot, there's a tons of different mushrooms you can pick. So the ones that taste the best for you, you can just take. Let's just cut it here, and then it's yeah, okay. There's maggots in there anyways. These things tend to have a lot of maggots when they're older. Oh wait, yeah, there's maggots in there. But yeah, so there's orange milk coming out. I think if I cut the entire thing, wait, it's very obvious. And as said last year, the rule with those is the ones with the orange milk you can always eat. At least that's the case for Europe apparently, or Germany. Maybe different countries it's different. Wait, there's a, there you go. But yeah, there should be, yeah, orange milk is coming out. Not as much because they're already older. And this specific type also turns a bit greenish in the middle over time. Like you can see, it's not only orange on the top, it's more brown greenish in the center. But yeah, those ones are technically easy, like nicely to eat. That's not the best tasting variant. I tried all three of them. This one isn't the best. But yeah, still the Edelreizker, which I think this couldn't be. This is the Fichtenreizker here. Yeah, well, it's okay. If I wouldn't have had the trumpet chanterelles, I would probably take this one because it's actually quite nice with a bit of butter and bread as well. But yeah, there's also another one, but that's not one of those. It's another one of those golden mushrooms. As you can see, those are pretty fucking yellow. Let's get it out. That's a fresher version than the last one I found. Pretty alone at this point in the first. Oh yeah, that's pretty golden. I mean, yeah, underside eaten by snails again, but that's kind of fine. It doesn't really matter that much. But this one is a keeper. It's a pretty fresh one. They're really, really, really yellow and golden. That's where the name comes from, pretty obvious. They're also really good tasting. Sadly, as well as the summer brown caps, they do have a lot of water in them. So it's kind of very small yield. But yeah, I'm gonna keep looking for that one porcini, at least that one fucking porcini. I'll keep you updated. Pretty funny that I mentioned the bitter thing, because now I walked past a mushroom that is already ripped out and laid down again. This is also a bitter mushroom one, by the way. The cap here, actually really like, more like brown orangish. The underside, again, kind of like grayish, and there's a bit of pink in it. I mean, it's pretty bad with the camera, but yeah, it looks really nice. But it's a bitter mushroom again. The guy ripped it out. We'll put it back. Looks really nice, right? Really tasty. And there's even another one over here that was also ripped out. Same thing, kind of. Looks really good. Can kind of tell. Really good. Looks kind of like a porcini, but isn't. So that also tells me, by the way, that it's a bit late in the year and the others fruited. And last year it was basically just a chance that the summer and like late summer was so dry that the mushrooms basically couldn't fruit until there was enough rain and warmth. So that was when I went. This year, as I said, I suspected like 2-3 weeks ago would have been the perfect time. Now it's not anymore. But I mean, it's simple with mushrooms, right? It's kind of like a cherry tree or an apple tree. Like you have them flowering, and then they fruit, they ripen, and then you harvest them. And then like in summer or so, you would basically ask the tree to grow another bunch of flowers and fruit again, which is not going to happen. Sadly, it's not going to happen like this with trees. And the mycelium of the mushroom is kind of similar. Though the mycelium, I fucking still have this bitter taste in my mouth from earlier. Then again, the mycelium can like produce fruits like 2 or 3 times a year, depending on the mushroom. It can happen, but it's pretty rare. Normally they have like their up or like the high phase where they fruit a lot, and then it's done. By the way, in these kind of areas, I don't really find much anymore. It's just, I guess, too many people walk through here, but also like they have a large machinery running through here, which kills off the mycelium. So like there's kind of like a bit of a track from before. They're actually agriculturally using this part because it's obviously older. We also have like the borkenkäfer in those trees, so slowly but surely they have to cut them out. Oh, there's a mushroom there, but I guess it's a Täubling. Oh, you can already tell, yellowish, but doesn't fit the profile. But yeah, this part I don't really find anything. I just by chance walked over another bunch of those bitter shrooms that kind of look like porcini but aren't. I mean, if you get a feel for it, the stem and the cap and everything look a lot different. The underside, as said, is more gray pink, so it has to be pale white for very young porcinis. No matter the kind of porcini, by the way, because there's different pine trees grow different porcinis, the same way as there's leaf trees that grow porcinis as well. You have a porcini for oak tree, call it like bronze porcini or bronze mushroom, basically, because the cap is extremely darkish brown, bronzish. Well, then you have one like the summer one, also grows with a different leaf tree, and then the other ones are pine tree ones, but pretty easy to distinguish. I think the only one that's really hard to tell apart from the bitter mushroom is the summer porcini, but then again, they grow in summer, and those fuckers, the bitter ones, grow in autumn, so kind of easy to tell by what time of the year you're picking. Well, I'm gonna go into this part now, the smaller one, because that's not agriculturally used. No random ass big trucks went through there. So yeah, hopefully I'll find one porcini, man. Even if it's infested with maggots, I at least want to see one that I found. But yeah, see you then. So, walked around a bit more. Still haven't found shit. Pretty disappointing, you know, if you're a mushroom collector, hunter. It's kind of pretty sad to not find any porcinis. To be fair, I'm actually disappointed as well, because I haven't found any more brown caps, which they should be at least a few here. I'm going to go to another spot now, just like, I mean, even if you don't find anything, It's like, depending on the weather, depending on the time of the year, you just want to check out as many spots as possible to see when and where they come. But because there's also no brown caps, I do have the slight suspicion that there's probably going to be mushrooms in like a week or two, probably 2 weeks. It has to be warm again, then we definitely get mushrooms, because there's just like nothing out yet. Brown caps probably later in the year. It's only September, let's say. The brown caps mostly come in October, late October, the autumn ones at least. And there's other spots where I can find them, but yeah, there's not really much to be found apart from the trumpet chanterelles, which I'm going to be pretty interested in eating. They're supposedly very high value for food. Yeah, porcini wise, not looking too hot. I mean, I found those old ones and a few mushed ones, decomposed ones earlier, as I said. So those were probably like weeks old, 2 or 3 weeks, and like a month and a half ago or so, I actually found a bunch of porcinis here. Went with my dad, just like to spend 2-3 hours in the forest together and collect some shit. I mean, he's kind of the one with his or my grandparents that got me into it. Now I'm a bit more advanced as to what you can collect and what not, and where you find something and when. But yeah, didn't really film then. Obviously, we were talking and stuff. That's pretty sad because we had a decent haul. This one here, not a haul at all. It's fucking shit. But I mean, yeah, that's the thing. It's we like, as my mom always said, life like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're gonna get. And it's the same with mushroom picking. Like sometimes you just get ass fucked and you don't have anything. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna check out some more spots. I also have the suspicion, or like this, the thing with porcini is also like you have dry spots. Dry spots take longer. Like the mycelium underground isn't like fully connected throughout the forest, obviously. You have mycelium here, mycelium there. I'll check this out real quick afterwards. You have dry spots, like for example this over there. I mean, at this point these dry spots are kind of dead, but yeah, dry spots kind of need more time to moisturize, and they come later in the year. I know from another guy who collects here that I randomly met that he even found in porcinis in November here. So a current guess that I have is that it just has to be, I just have to give them a bit more time, more than last year, because last year we had a huge amount of rain in like the last week of September, or the week before, like the second last, and then it was extremely hot after. So I mean, that's kind of like just a breeding ground for mushrooms, no matter the type. I feel like there's gonna be a few strugglers at least, because as said, the dry spots are gonna come later. The moisture, or like shaded areas mostly come first, but at the moment there's nothing. There's literally nothing, and it's too early in the year for it to be like nothing, because it wasn't that cold. I mean, it's still like, I think at the moment like 16 to 18 degrees Celsius, and fuck the freedom units, I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna keep looking, and then maybe I'll find something interesting still. See you soon. Well, we're back from the forest. Just to show you, there's some really interesting looking ones too. Those are like coral mushrooms. Actually, there's one, it's called the Krause Glucke, or Fette Henne in Bavarian, that is extremely tasty. It would be like the prized possession to bring out of a forest. Sadly, they need a specific pine tree that doesn't really grow here. But those are coral mushrooms. They look really interesting. They're really soft. They're coming out all of, looks really nice. But those, I mean, some of them are really good tasting, apparently, and really good mushrooms to cook. Maybe this one, I don't know, would be sad if I wouldn't know. But the thing is, there's like hundreds of these species, and they look extremely similar. Like, basically, they look the same. There's not even any, these coral mushrooms are kind of a mushroom that you have to distinguish between a lot of the species under a microscope, because one is actually just like getting you into the hospital. The other one is a great mushroom, so it's pretty hard to tell them apart. Something you wouldn't collect, but I mean, they look really pretty. It's like a little forest, like a little tree. It's coming out. Well, I'll leave them, obviously. It's even like very experienced collectors don't take them. As I said, like most of there's hundreds of species, impossible kind of to distinguish, and even though one is amazing tasting, the other one kills you, it's just like not worth it. But yeah, under a microscope you could actually like tell them apart pretty easily. There's even coming a few out there. Well, yeah, they look pretty cool. Just to show you. Well, let's see what we can find. As I was just talking about coral mushrooms, for example, here is another really cool looking one. But I mean, this one looks a bit different than the last one, right? They're really nice. But yeah, there's another great looking one. As said, like some of them would be some of the tastiest ever. I think you can cultivate most of them though, like the porcini or chanterelles, as I said, you can't cultivate. That's why the ones you buy out of the store are also from the forest. Always, there is just like no way to cultivate them. So there's always some fucker somewhere around the world collecting these shrooms in a forest, the porcini and chanterelles, and then you can eat them. Most of them in Europe come from Eastern Europe, from the forest, because they're like untouched and they have like large grounds where you can find kilotons, gigatons of porcini and chanterelles depending on the year. But yeah, those ones here, I think they really look super cool. But yeah, as I said, again, you can't really tell apart which is what. So I mean, you can admire them in the forest. There's no point in picking them. I don't know, otherwise it would be natural selection. The dummies would collect them and then, I don't know, end up in the hospital. Kind of like a natural selection process. But yeah, let's see what else we can find. Okay, so like for the last time, the coral ones, because they're looking so pretty, they're going in here. And then you actually have like these rings of coral mushrooms too. Like I think here you can see like a circle. Tons of mushrooms build these. We call them like witch circles or whatever in Germany. There's even some more coral mushrooms over there. Lots of mushrooms do them. Last year, the last time I went, I actually had an amazing find. Like the red ones with the white dots on top. They were like obviously hundreds, actually probably thousands in that forest I was earlier. And one spot had like a massive, like 3 meter wide, massive witch circle. I probably should have filmed it. Next time I'm going to do that. I can just whoop it into another video even if I don't find much. But yeah, it's pretty interesting in general to find that type of stuff. Obviously the red ones are way more impressive when they build these circles. There's other mushroom types too, like there's a small white one. Some of them do the same thing. And yeah, that's kind of how or where the mycelium grows under the earth and builds these things. Well, that's the last time I show you the coral mushrooms. Hopefully next time I have something more interesting. Hello. Well, after stretches and stretches of fucking forest, I at least found a brown cap again. Oh, wait, is this one too? Nope. I at least found a nice little brown cap again. So like I'm pretty torn. Like normally the chanterelles, the trumpet chanterelles. By the way, I can show. I found some larger ones as well. There's a large one, the older one. They're called, I think, trumpet chanterelles because they're hollow inside. Like the stem is hollow. And well, those are actually pretty late mushrooms. But then there should be more brown caps like this. This is like an autumn one, I think. Yeah. So like this one here is way, it's pretty old, or like decently old, decently sized. This is an autumn one. It's way thicker, yeah, sure, but also harder than the summer ones. They don't soak up so much water easily. It's kind of like the same thing as the other ones, but yeah, just a bit harder, so easier to cook. It was like the first thing after stretches and stretches and stretches of forest. There's actually going some tree cutting is going on in the background. But yeah, interestingly enough, I found it on a normally very dry piece. So yeah, I don't know, is it over, is it not over? Like I said, the chanterelles are a very late mushroom. Then the golden ones, I actually found another very nice golden one as well. The golden ones are very early normally, or earlier. So I don't know, I'm a bit confused. I feel like the weather is so weird last years that the mushrooms are all over the place. I definitely suspect that in 1 or 2 weeks, or definitely 2 weeks, I have to go again and have a look. If it gets magically warm in the next week or two, I'm definitely gonna go real fast. I also have the problem that most of the spots that I'm using are apparently like known now, so I have two options. Either I find myself new forest areas, maybe further away from Munich, and discover new areas that no one else knows about, and or I'm just faster than the people that collect here, which is mostly older people, so I can just race them to the spots. I guess I can just outrun them. Generally I have the idea that I have a bit of a better feeling as to when mushrooms are coming out depending on the weather. Then again, I was vacation, didn't really like feel the weather here for a long time, but I looked into the weather reports, and my estimation today was there's not going to be a lot, that's for sure, because it wasn't particularly warm the past days. But that it's that little, I mean that little of a haul, is kind of sad. I mean, now I have 3 brown caps, 3 of the golden ones, and the rest is chanterelles. I mean, it's still interesting because I found normal chanterelles here, which is weird. They don't really grow here. Maybe they could grow here, but they haven't really spored out here yet. So maybe I should have left a few in the forest so they can multiply a bit faster. I mean, the mycelium underground grows anyways, but to cover larger stretches of forest, they kind of have to spore or use the spores through the wind, and then I mean it takes a few years to grow some other place. Like in 3, 4, 5 years you had a bunch of chanterelles somewhere else. Takes a while, but yeah, I don't know, a bit torn, pretty sad, pretty disappointed that I can't find anything. Normally, by the way, on this kind of forest you don't find shit. It's way too dry, it's close to the open, so there's a lot of sun in summer, so like the entire ground is just dried out. And also like we have this invasive spring whatever the fuck shit, this garbage here. I mean, it's imported, it's not native to. Oop, there it goes. Is there another one? Oh no, like I think a lot of people know this by now, but yep, they just open. There's larger ones like this too. This is the small yellow one. There's a large pink purple one-ish too that grows like 1.5 meters tall and shit. They're very invasive. Also like yeah, normally on this kind of forest ground you don't find anything. Pretty lucky to find at least like 1 brown cap. Maybe I find a few more down the pathway to the car. This time I came with car, not my pussy ride bicycle. This is a pretty nice one. It also doesn't seem to have maggots, so it's pretty cool. And well, let's see what else I can find. Well, we're on our way home. Nothing of value has been found, and also since every sort of spot was empty, I'm not really looking for more. We observed the situation in the forest. At this point I would say it's a 50-50. There's going to be a fuck ton in the next weeks or nothing at all anymore. Also, like I found a bunch of like 1 or 2 more of the bitter ones that are just coming out. They're also like a bit later normally than porcini and stuff. I mean, brown caps I will find for sure in like 2 weeks, tons of them, which I will also go for because it's a nice little dish you can make. Tastes very great. But yeah, on our way home, got at least a few. I'm going to be very interested in the trumpet chanterelles. I see everyone always collecting them. I also found some in the past. They're also weird. Like normally they're very late. I think they can even grow into the first frosts and stuff, but it's only like late September, so it's kind of weird. I think like the entire what's it called? Entire biosphere is completely fucked because of the weird climate. But yeah, I'm gonna make my way home. I'm going to go again, hopefully find some more shrooms. The next time we're gonna have like maybe a second mushroom vlog this year, but for now that's it. I had a nice walk through the forest, obviously. It's great. Generally great weather. It's not raining, fresh air. I like the smell of the forest in general. And I mean, I said, like, it's like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're gonna get. Like sometimes you just don't find anything, but you still have a nice walk through the forest. Kind of nice, relaxing, healthy as well, apparently. I mean, there's a lot of oxygen here, I would assume. Touching grass is pretty cool, for me even. And well, we observed. We're gonna come back, and we're hopefully gonna hunt some more mushrooms later this year. Until then, see you soon and take care. Hello, people of the internet. It's your boy, Skinny Penis, back from the forest. As I said, I'm gonna do 2 mushroom vlogs. It's pretty late. Same spot, by the way. I said like next year I'll probably search for different spots. Gotta get more into the mushroom game. It's pretty late. Probably no porcinis, probably or definitely no chanterelles in this forest, but we're hunting brown caps. And well, since I was walking, because like in these let's say younger forests, it's pretty hard to find brown caps, so I'm gonna go up and then to the left and then into the large forest areas. A lot of moss on the ground, but I found a little as I said, like the autumn brown caps. You can probably see there, pretty fat one. Let's go. The autumn brown caps are the ones you really want to find. The summer ones are pretty thin stem, bit more watery, but then you have these beautiful autumn brown caps. Probably gonna find more later on. Well, yeah, this one here, similar to a porcini, definitely not as meaty, definitely more water. Goes really well with like cream sauce with a bunch of herbs, shallots, yeah, what is it, like cream sauce, herbs, shallots, garlic, and then either chicken or yeah, probably chicken, and then you just eat rice with it. Probably amazing. That's the first one for the day. Let's see if we can find more, but that's a pretty good one. Also very firm. Yeah, I'll see you later. That's the first find of the day. Hello, hello. As it turns out, this trip is even more of a disaster as the last one, but it is what it is. We have found another one, pretty nice. Actually, apart from that, I haven't found any. It is probably too late this year. I don't know, just generally bad. There's a bunch of chanterelles, like trumpet chanterelles, like the ones I found the other time, or yeah, those are sadly soaked full of water, a bit old. I mean, I guess I could take them. They were actually pretty nice, but yeah, we have another brown cap. Pretty hard to even find brown caps, honestly, and those are pretty old already. The one I found earlier and the other one. I'm gonna keep looking. I mean, maybe I'll find like a bunch and can dry them, put them in a goulash or with the sauce of the rouladen. But yeah, I thought I could do 2 videos. Probably I'm just gonna edit in, or Stoop's gonna edit in the few finds from today into the other vid, and make it one. But yeah, 2 mushrooms until now. I'm gonna keep looking. Actually, now that I sit here, there's a good one. Small one, just came out of the ground. Perfect. Sadly, I don't know, it doesn't look like there have been many brown caps in the past days or even like in the last week, because otherwise you would find old ones around here and be able to tell that they've already passed, but that's not the case. So once again, could be that they're coming out in 2-3 days, because it's really warm and moist still. And the autumn brown caps, they grow until like November, middle of November, if the weather is right. So yeah, but hey, at least I found another small one. Let's keep looking. I'll keep you updated. Well, I walked around for ages not finding anything, but now we have a way better spot. Somehow at this spot there's tons of brown caps, great size actually. I don't know why here and not in the other spots. They're a bit older actually, so they have been out of the ground for a while. I also found another small one. Right, I'll quickly put the knife there. You have 2 small ones. Those are really nice. Those are actually the ones I'm trying to find, but those are also fine. That's kind of weird, like now I'm suddenly finding brown caps, so maybe the quest continues. Maybe, I mean, you always have the hope that there's a struggler porcini, maybe like one last one in the year, very late. They can still technically be here late October, November, but yeah, at least some brown caps. I'm always cleaning them up. And then, oh well, let's see what the search for the mushrooms, the mushroom quest, can still bring. Hello. Actually now, finally, I found a really good example of a like very late autumnish brown cap. Pretty fresh, pretty new. And oh yeah. So like, I don't know, this one is kind of okay, nice, but as you can see, it's a lighter brown. It's a bit smoother, and this one is like well, it also feels different from the cap, and it's darker. I think it's the same variety. This one here is just a later version of it, I guess. But yeah, those ones are the ones I came for. Sadly, there isn't very many around here. Normally in these monoculture forests, you're actually supposed to find quite a lot. And every time I find one, I look around, but I can't find many more. Usually, obviously, they come in groups. It's the same as porcini or chanterelles. The mycelium underground probably produces multiple fruits. It's very rare for one to come out. My guess is it's just very late, and those are all strugglers. Don't know. I think also maybe a different forest would produce way more brown caps now. I know some where I can definitely find more brown caps than here, but for that I had to drive decently far even. But yeah, at least we found one good example. I'll keep looking, and I mean, we have a few. At the end I can show it, or like I kind of got what I came for. I just had to look a bit harder, but yeah, it's probably gonna be enough for a meal, and or we're just gonna dry it. But yeah, let's keep looking, see what we can find. Ta-da! It's your boy. Your boy is back out of the forest after another stint of 20-30 minutes without finding anything. I went tilt. It's just too late. My mushroom vlog attempts this year kind of sus. The one time I find a truckload of porcini I don't film, then I didn't really find time or have time to go far away into the other forests that I know, where I have to drive like 2.5 hours to find chanterelles. So we're back on the road. Actually, it's very little. Actually, that one, the one on the right is pretty fucking dark already. It's I don't know, probably dry damage anyways. Maybe I'll throw it out. I'll look inside if it already started changing color. In any case, last time was bad. At least I found a bunch of fresh trumpet chanterelles. This time was even worse. I mean, at least some, you know, like a handful. You can do like lunch with that. A few eggs, maybe the mushrooms and fresh bread tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe just dry them. Depends. But yeah, I've had worse in the past years, you know. Over the years, if you go over and over and over again to check out spots. I mean, it's mostly also just like you want to walk through the forest, go outside, you know, touch grass. So you end up in the forest over and over this year as well. I went a week ago, nothing there. I've had worse. Like I've literally had moments where I only came back with like 1 mushroom, 2 mushrooms. That's about it, especially when it's dry. I went anyways. At least I have a handful. So yeah, even if I dry them, I can like put them in goulash. Yeah, but I'm a bit tilt. Technically the weather was perfect for brown caps, so I hoped I'd get an entire truckload of them, or at least half a basket to have a nice dish. But yeah, I'll put this in the video. This is obviously the second stalker mushroom vlog. He actually gets 2 days, but pathetic findings. But yeah, see you. Skinny penis out.